So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are. It is gonna be time now to see what this is gonna be all about between our two Masters players. The last hope for Protoss here in Pobbes versus GeoHen on that Zerg. And whoever wins this matchup now will be facing off against Nux in the lower bracket finals immediately after this. But before we start into our game, well, thank you to our sponsors, Pure PC, as well as Block 101, presented to you, of course, by DLS Missile, Daks, as well as ABP, IS Boy Productions. We'll be seeing you guys today, and we'll be seeing you guys tomorrow for our grand finals. But anyway, let's get into the game. This is going to be a pretty solid one, as here we are in this PVZ. So welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and introducing first here on the top right of Everdream LE, it is your last Protoss hopeful, the new Protoss champion. His name is Pobbes. And his opponent here on the bottom left, it is our green Zerg this time, looking to make it to that top 3. Can he do it? His name is GeoHen. GeoHen, or as in, looking to make it a Zerg trifecta all the way in the top 3. In the meantime, Pobbes trying to keep the tradition alive for the past few quarantines with 2 Zergs, 1 Protoss. And as we said, guys, whoever wins this is going to be facing off against Nux, who lost that to Ender in the upper bracket finals. And whoever wins that going to be meeting Ender tomorrow in the grand finals itself. But here we go with Asin already setting up with the pool first. Immediately into the extractor we go. And in the meantime, Pobbes on the other side going to be trying to get a little bit more into the front line with the gateway being built. A simulator also going to be into play here. And now there we go with Asin in the meantime, still bringing in this pool. And it's a pretty solid pool right now. Look, 17 pool. Gonna be at the very least trying to play the usual macro department. He's also gonna go for the gas in this case in points. And the question right now is, what's the plan for Asin? He also wants to go for the second base here. Pull first, though, means that he wants to go for the aggro. And Pobbes, in the meantime, having this probe available here. But before we get into, well, a bit more into the game itself, I do want to say, though, that this is a really, really good comeback for both GeoHen and Pobbes. Pobbes finally making it to the Masters bracket after saying last time that, hey, I don't want to waste my time in Gold to Diamond. I really want to bring it against the best. And making it at the very least to top 4 in his first debut in Masters Plus is an amazing sight to behold. He already beat out the likes of Bayagster there, unseating the crown of the Protoss to himself. And on the other side, GeoHen finally going for the comeback, finally coming in to a quarantine tournament and having a pretty deep run. But unfortunately, one of these 2 players, their dream will end here. And we'll find out who is it gonna be very, very soon. As it's gonna be time for the 2-base Roach Warren. So this can actually just be a hatchery for the aggression rather than anything else. And in all honesty, if this catches Pobbes out for a surprise, this is gonna be really, really good here for GeoHen so far. On the other side, though, there we go with the gateway being built. Cell gonna be out in front. There we have the initial swarm of Zerglings, though, going for the pokes and the prods. And of course, Warp Gate Research being built up by the Cybercore as well. Interesting that Pobbes also uses the probe there. It feels like it's gonna be Bob and his vet trying to go for the fight. It feels like it's an MMORPG, but unfortunately, your companion now gonna be going on down. Nexus is there, built in behind. Pobbes, though, in the meantime, still sticking around, waiting for an opportunity to happen with that Zealot. And it's pretty old school, though, having that melee unit out in front. It really means, though, that the Zerglings can go for the pokes and the prods against the Cybercore if need be. But there we go with Asin again, still waiting on the outskirts. 2-gate 1-core setup already here for Pobbes. And what's the play for GeoHen so far? He's immediately going into Roaches here, and now will we see the classic Roach Burrow here from GeoHen? Seems like it's not the case. But in a situation like this, with the Stalkers right now being built, it can provide some anti-armor if need be. Pobbes OP, we'll see what this is all about, though. He's made it to our top 4, though, and I really gotta commend his comeback story. Moving into the Masters Plus bracket, actually showing up in the first place, but only 1 can move on to face off against Nux, and only 1 can move on to the grand finals tomorrow. But there you see, a Tosis Pylon is set on up, and here comes more and more of these units from Asin decided to bring in the pain. Can we see the Roaches, the Ravagers looking to find some target or 2? And this is actually pretty good here for Asin. He has a pretty big army, ×3 right now. And there we go, the Val looking for the connection. Infiltration is key. Asin already knocking on the door of Pobbes, and this Pylon is getting focused out. GG is called! What a quick one there. It's GeoHen taking the first game. And guys, this is why you gotta keep your power supply up and running. Without that 1 pylon, Pobbes says, okay, I'm done. All my buildings are here. All my units are going to be coming from these buildings, and in the end, it just doesn't matter what Pobbes is trying to do, because Azin makes it so quick, and it's just unfortunate because Pobbes was already scouting it out for quite a while already earlier on, and in the end, it's like, surprise, surprise, not gonna happen, and it is just way too much for Pobbes to handle. He can't rebuild whatsoever that pylon, he can't rebuild anything else, and my oh my, GeoHen making this one look very, very quick. We're going to go into our second map, though, Submarine LE, the smaller map this time, and I wouldn't be surprised to see that same kind of aggression. GeoHen a while ago on the macro base map saying, hey, I can play the aggro out of nowhere. I can play this all in with this 2-base setup. And from then on, he just took the win and more. Submarine LE, an even smaller map, so we'll find out who is going to be attacking who first. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, into game number 2. This is lower bracket round number 5. And whoever wins this is going to be moving on to face against Daks into the next one. Introducing first, though, here on the bottom right of Submarine LE, it is your purple Protoss trying to make sure his power is up. His name is Pobbes. And his opponent here on the top left instead, it is going to be our green Zerg, looking to make it a Zerg trifecta in the top 3. His name is GeoHen or Azin. And immediately as we say that, it's going to be a pool, it's going to be the hatchery, and that's what this is going to be all about here. And now, feels like, though, that's really just that aggression going to be so important here for Azin to begin with, to see what this is all about. Pobbes, in the meantime, though, going to be trying to be a big bother there with the probe in the first place. A while ago, he was just chilling with the Zealot. Unfortunately, didn't pan out, Azin, though, in the meantime. Gonna be doing the same old thing. Pull first into the hatchery. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him get that Roach Warren as well. If it ain't broke, don't fix it right. If it ain't, gonna be a big hamper. Might as well. And Pobbes, the best thing he can do right now is build the second pylon just in case. He has to be hurting after all of that. The battery will also be very, very helpful. I feel like that's something he missed out on, because battery overcharge is so very important to keep you alive. It's a really good ability they added for the Protoss lately. And in a case like this, it's all about surviving for the time being. In any case, though, this PVZ hasn't really boiled down too much, but from what we've seen so far, GeoHen really does prefer to go for the early aggro. He really does prefer to try and bother his opponent with different kinds of builds. You have your Burrow Roach, you have your drops, you do have your Roach priming attacks no matter what, and it really just feels like that's what GeoHen is all about. Wanting to play the aggro as much as possible, wanting to wrap things up as quick as possible, and looking to speedrun this whole freaking tournament. In any case, though, core now being built as well as the gateways. There we go, the pylon being set on up, and Nexus Point is there as well. And like I said, Pobbes has decided, okay, I'm gonna go for the second pylon, and there we have the Zealot already trying to keep the patrol on. Probe will be in the way as well. Adept in the meantime being worked on in at the same time, and it really feels like for Pobbes right now, he's trying to do the same thing a while ago, but better. Still in a case like this, there we go with the gateway being built as well. Nexus is set on up, and the Roaches right now are being built for the time being. So it really feels like it's deja vu, and it'll be kinda sad here for Pobbes to end up losing to the same old thing, because we are literally seeing GeoHen doing the exact same thing on a different map. We'll find out though if it's gonna be any effective. The thing to note though, this is the best map to do so, because as we keep saying, smallest map in the pool, this is gonna be the fastest transition time to get these units from one side to the other. And with the Ravagers right now being built, we have Azin marching on around. There comes the shield battery. The really good call here from Pobbes for the Robo facility. But he's gonna need something to deal with the Roach Ravager comp coming his way very, very soon. There we go. The Adept already gaining scouting information. And this is just Azin on the hunt. Oh, Ravager trying to go for that one. Cancels it immediately, but does decide for it instead. And those vials are going to be huge. Chrono boost out those units though. And apparently Pobbes is desperate to get this comp out and running. The Zealot can be out in front again. Here comes the Stalker right now trying to stay alive. And the Ravager is going to be going for the vial yet again. There we go. The Slam on down one more time. The Zerglings are going to get hurt. But still, this is just as in keeping the flood on. 10 Zerglings in production. And this is slowly but surely Pobbes unable rather to hold the line. He has to go for the micro on his own macro. He needs to put buildings in the way. He's keeping this alive with a shield battery. But as I say that, GeoHen is already there, and it's tearing apart his opponent. These Stalkers cannot keep up whatsoever. The probes have been pulled though. There we go with the Ravager Cocoon getting shut down immediately. And another gateway now being built. It's all up to the Warp Gate right now to get the reinforcement cycle that GeoHen needs. There we go with the Bile yet again, slamming down onto the Zerglings again. But here comes the trouble, here comes the hurt. The Stalker right now gonna get surrounded as well as the Zealot, and it feels like it's gonna be a duel to the death here. And now, can Pobbes actually do anything? He's gonna be bringing in every single probe he has for the time being. And even though he has a few outliers there, and then this pull is just not going to work out whatsoever. This Immortal right now is caught by the Zerglings as well. Perfect timing here from the side of Azin to get the surround on. And this might be it. Another wipe cycle for Pobbes to try and stay alive. These probes are just being baited on out, and it's just not happening. Can he actually plug the leak? It's not going to work out whatsoever. Into the middle line we go, and into the top 3, we see Zerg dominates. There you go, guys. Victory for GeoHen, taking the win against Pobbes in this best of 3. That is the quickest we've ever seen a series wrap up. Even though it's not the quickest game, it's still a pretty quick one. And we will be right back because, well, our next one's going to be pretty interesting. It's the lower bracket finals. It is time to see who's the better Zerg. Is it Nux or is it GeoHen?